My name is Staff Sergeant Joshua Hickman, the RSO for the state of North Carolina. Today we'll be briefing you on the BRS opt-in course, designed to tell eligible service members how they can make the right steps to make an educated decision on the blended retirement system. You're a part of a select group of service members who get to choose your retirement benefit system. It is vital you take the time to understand how both the retirement systems work so that you can make an informed decision that's right for you and your family. Currently, you are a part of the Legacy High 3 retirement system, which provides a defined retirement pay benefit if you complete 20 years or more of service. In addition, you have access to a non-matching portable retirement system component known as the Thrift Savings Plan, where you may already be contributing. You may choose to remain in the Legacy High 3 retirement system or elect to participate in the modernized retirement system, commonly referred to as the blended retirement system. The BRS combines a reduced rate defined benefit pension plus a TSP account where the government will automatically contribute an amount equal to 1% of your basic pay and match your contributions up to an additional 4% for a total contribution of up to 5%. Additionally, even if you do not complete a 20-year career in the service, the majority of individuals who opt into BRS will receive some portable retirement benefit upon separation. This course is designed to inform, educate, and empower you to make the best decision for the future you're planning for yourself and your family. Given an instructional presentation on the High 3 Uniformed Services Retirement System, blended retirement system, time value of money and other financial planning concepts, and potential retirement savings outcomes, the learner will be able to understand the importance of saving for retirement, differences between the High 3 retirement system and blended retirement system, and the tools and resources available to help them make their decision. Opt-in Basics, Lesson 1. In this lesson, you'll learn about the eligibility requirements for opting into the blended retirement system, the period of time you will have in which to make your opt-in decision, and be introduced to the similarities and differences between the Legacy High 3 Uniform Services Retirement System and the BRS. After completing this lesson, you will be able to identify the requirements for eligibility to opt into the BRS, recognize the opt-in period, recognize similarities and differences between the Legacy High 3 Uniform Services Retirement System and the BRS. You're taking this training because as of December 31st, 2017, you are either an active component member who has served fewer than 12 full years from your pay entry basic date, or a reserve component member with fewer than 4,320 points. This makes you eligible to opt into the BRS, or remain in the Legacy High 3 military retirement system. If you do not choose to opt into the blended retirement system, you will remain in the High 3 system. This is your decision to make. Please note, no one who is currently serving as of December 31st, 2017, or who has previously served is automatically enrolled in the BRS. All service members who enter service or who sign a contract to serve on or before December 31st, 2017 are grandfathered into the High 3 retirement system that is more fully described later in this lesson and in Lesson 4. It is strongly recommended that you discuss this decision with your family and take full advantage of the financial counseling and education opportunities available to you as a service member. But only you can make the decision whether to opt into the BRS or remain in the High 3 retirement system. You will be able to make a decision on your retirement system beginning January 1st, 2018. Any eligible service member wishing to opt in must do so during calendar year 2018. Completion of opt-in training is required prior to making the election. You may choose to remain covered by your legacy retirement system, in which case nothing will change. But should you decide you want to switch to BRS, you will have to record that opt-in decision. This decision is irrevocable or final and cannot be changed at a later date. Members of the reserve component must be performing duties in a paid status during 2018 to opt in. If not in a paid status during 2018, but otherwise eligible based on having accumulated fewer than 4,320 retirement points, those reserve component members will have an opportunity at a later date, if returning to a paid status, to make their opt-in decision. Re-entrants will have the remainder of 2018, or depending upon when they return to service, a limited period of time after 2018 to opt in if they desire. Stay alert for service-specific instructions for opt-in procedures. A special note for ROTC, Service Academy, and re-entrants. If you're taking this training while completing training through ROTC or Service Academy, or are in an unpaid reserve component status, you will have 30 days upon commissioning to active service or from the time you enter a paid status to make your election. The primary differences between the High 3 retirement system and the BRS are described here. Under the High 3 system, you will receive a pension in return for 20 years of active duty or 20 qualifying years of service for the reserve component. Your monthly retired pay will be calculated as shown here, 2.5% times your years of service times the average of your highest 36 months of basic pay. Under the BRS, you will still receive a pension for 20 years of service, though the multiplier is reduced from 2.5% to 2%. If you choose to opt into the BRS, you will enroll in a U.S. government thrift savings plan, a defined contribution plan currently available to government workers. TSP is portable, and once vested, all contributions and earnings stay with the service member even after leaving the service. You will also receive an automatic government contribution to your TSP equal to 1% of your basic pay, and depending on your own contributions to TSP, may be eligible for government matching. These contributions go up to an additional 4% of your basic pay. So if you choose to leave the service before completing 20 years, under the BRS, you would separate with your contributions to your TSP and up to a total of 5% government contributions. It is important that you understand that all service members today have the option to participate in the TSP. The difference is that those who choose to remain in the High 3 system will not receive government matching funds or the 1% automatic contribution. You must decide which of the retirement systems is best for you and your family, based on your future financial needs, and your plans and goals for your service career. You'll get more information about the differences in the two retirement systems later in this course. Check on learning. All service members who enter service or who sign a contract to serve on or before December 31st, 2017 are automatically enrolled in the blended retirement system. True or false? The answer? False. The opt-in election period is blank to blank. Answer: the opt-in period is January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2018. Out of these options, which do you think is the best description of how the legacy High 3 retirement system and the blended retirement system are similar? The answer: both require 20 years of service to qualify for a pension. You have completed Lesson 1 on opt-in basics. You should now be able to identify the requirements for eligibility to opt into BRS, recognize the opt-in period, recognize the similarities and differences between the Legacy High 3 Uniform Services Retirement System and the BRS. Lesson 2, the importance of lifelong financial security. Your retirement may seem like it is many years in the future, but that is exactly the reason you need to plan and begin saving for your retirement now. In this lesson, you'll learn about the costs and uncertainties of retirement that many people recognize too late, and be introduced to some simple steps you can take to make your own future a little less uncertain. After completing this lesson, you will be able to understand the importance of planning and saving for retirement. Retirement probably seems far off to you at this point in your life, and so it's difficult to imagine what your needs might be 50 years into the future. Today's generation, at or near retirement age, had the same problem when they were young. Consider some of these facts published by the U.S. Government General Accounting Office and the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You can probably expect to live a good long life into your mid-80s. Many people approaching retirement age today have limited financial resources, and roughly half have no retirement savings at all. Those who have retirement savings probably don't have enough. The average savings for households 55 to 64 is about $104,000. The average American will need adequate savings and income to cover well over $50,000 per year in living expenses between age 55 and 80. Experts advise you may need around 80% of your pre-retirement income to maintain your quality of life. While Social Security may cover some of your expenses, retirement savings will play a critical role in ensuring you maintain the standard of living you desire in retirement. The decisions you make today when you're in your 20s and 30s may determine how you live during retirement. No one can predict the future. Retirement is full of uncertainties. Consider just a few. Life expectancy will continue to grow up as healthcare is improving, meaning you'll need more money to live on after your retirement. You'll need to budget for living expenses, and unexpected healthcare expenses can disrupt the best plan. You have a standard of living to which you're accustomed. Is that what you intend for your retirement? Social Security was never intended to be your primary income during retirement. This is your opportunity to invest in your future now. Market fluctuations will impact your investments. Diversifying and starting early will help mitigate those issues. Your best strategy for protecting yourself against an uncertain future is to ensure you are actively planning and investing in your future. You are going to need money after you retire. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics conducts regular surveys of consumer spending. Based upon the most recent available survey results, in 2014, Americans over age 55 spent an average of $53,495 each year. Total expenditures were highest from age 55 to 64 and decreased to an average of $36,673 for Americans over age 75. It is important to compare expenditure data against income data, since the decrease in spending may be most attributable to decreases in income. In 2014, survey data indicates a steady decline in pre-tax income from age 55 to age 75. One must consider that declines in expenditures could be the result of declining income rather than consumer choices to reduce expenditures for other reasons. Keep in mind that this information is based on history and that you are still years away from your own retirement. Another uncertainty to consider is how much these costs may increase by the time you retire. For most people, the essential costs of retirement include housing, transportation, food, and health care. The largest portion of these expenditures is housing, which accounted for nearly $18,000 or 33.3% of the total annual expenditures for this population segment. The data is further segmented for Americans aged 55 to 64, 65 to 74, and 75 and older. Based upon the BLS data, the share of housing costs relative to total expenditures decreased with age until age 75 and over. Americans over 75 spent fewer dollars on housing, but total annual expenditures also decreased for this population. As a result, housing represented a larger share of total expenditures at 36.5%. Transportation. The next largest category of retirement spending was transportation at 17%, or a little over $9,000. Transportation costs increased from age 55 to 74 and then declined substantially. This is likely due to reduced mobility among the elderly population. Food. Food was the third highest category at 12.6%, or about $6,700. The food share of spending remains fairly constant across the subcategories of age, but total dollar expenditures decrease with total expenditures and total pre-tax income as age increases. Healthcare. Healthcare consumed an average of 8% of total expenditures for this population overall, but the healthcare share of total expenditures rose dramatically from age 55 to age 75 and over. Total dollar expenditures for this category were mostly consistent across the age subcategories, averaging about $4,300. What does it mean? What does all this mean? In categories where dollar spending remains constant while total expenditures and total income falls, it is reasonable to assume the population had to reduce spending in other areas to maintain spending in the constant dollar categories. Further, where total share of expenditures remain constant, it is reasonable to assume cutbacks were made as a result of decreased total income. Service members who retire from the military may have access to military retire health care benefits, commissary and exchange privileges, and access to military quality of life facilities such as gyms, recreation areas, theaters, etc. As a result, total spending for this population may be lower since there are significant cost savings for service members who utilize military health care, commissaries, exchanges, and quality of life facilities. In addition, military retirees may be eligible for special local and state tax treatment of their retired pay and property in their home states. The term standard of living has a variety of definitions and meanings, but what is important here is your standard of living and what you want it to be during your retirement. How do you define your current standard of living? The answer to this question may be similar for most adults in their 20s and 30s, but may be individually defined by the size of the family, location of the home, type of car, cost of entertainment, and preferences for travel and leisure. It is up to you to determine your current standard of living, your desired standard of living, and the standard of living you wish to have in retirement. Do you want the same, better, or a lesser standard of living when you are 40, 50, 60, or older? What will be your standard of living in retirement since the cost of goods, services, and luxuries you desire will most likely have gone up? Once you have an idea when you want to retire and have considered all the relevant factors, like the standard of living you want, you are ready to calculate the income you will need and how much you need to save each month or a year to reach your goal. There are 4 sources of retirement income, also known as income streams: your personal savings and investments, employer-provided pensions, Social Security retirement benefits, and earned income if you choose or need to continue working. As an example, Mike Smith is an E6 with 10 years of service. He entered the military at 24 and plans on retiring in 16 years with 26 years of service. He hopes to make E8 or higher before he retires. Mike has made some estimates and determined he would like to have $70,000 a year when he retires for good at age 65. When he retires, he has decided to plan for a 25-year retirement when he will reach age 90. Using today's dollars, he estimates that he will have the following annual retirement income: $33,000 from his military pension plan and $21,000 from Social Security. That leaves a gap of $16,000 a year that will either need to come from personal savings and investments or be provided through continued employment. Mike needs to determine how much he needs to save each month or year to fill that gap, and what types of savings and investment vehicles he will use. And if he does not save enough, how long will he have to continue working to earn the income to live on? Let's do a quick recap of what we covered so far. You want to stop working someday, and you need to plan ahead for how you will fund your retirement. Recent studies show most people who are at or near retirement age today either don't have any money saved for retirement or don't think they have saved enough. You face many uncertainties with your retirement, but the best protection against those uncertainties is to ensure you have adequate savings for retirement. Costs of retirement include housing, transportation, food, and medical care, and you can expect all of these costs to be higher by the time you reach retirement age. You also need to plan for the standard of living you want to maintain after you stop working. As a member of the Uniformed Services, you will have a number of opportunities throughout your career to receive financial literacy training and education. You also have access to other resources such as personal financial managers and counselors. Regardless of the retirement system you choose, you should take full advantage of these opportunities and resources to help you create financial security for yourself and your family. Specific tools and resources available to help you with financial planning are discussed in more detail later in this course. You need to be an active participant in your own future. Check on learning. Most people approaching retirement age today have adequate savings and investments to fund their retirement for the rest of their lives. True or false? The answer: false. For most people, the essential costs of living in retirement include travel and leisure, transportation, healthcare, housing, and food. The answer: all except travel and leisure. You have completed Lesson 2 on the importance of planning for retirement. You should now be able to understand the importance of planning and saving for retirement. Lesson 3, Financial Planning Concepts and the TSP. In this lesson, you'll learn about some of the important terms and concepts you'll need to understand in order to prepare and compare your retirement system options. You'll also learn about the advantages of investing in the Thrift Savings Plan, which is the U.S. government's version of the 401k investment plan. After completing this lesson, you will be able to understand the concepts of a pension for uniformed services retirement pay, define vesting and understand the requirements of the vesting period, recognize the value of compound interest, and recognize the advantages of investing in the Thrift Savings Plan. What is a pension? A pension, which is a type of defined benefit plan, is a retirement system in which an employee is promised that they will continue receiving a regular income paid in intervals even after they retire. Usually, qualifying for a pension is based on completing a certain number of years of employment. In exchange, the employee is guaranteed a monthly income even after he or she stops working. The Uniformed Services legacy retirement systems, such as the High 3, are pension plans based on credible years of service, usually 20 years. Upon qualifying for retirement, you know you are guaranteed to receive a monthly retirement paycheck for the rest of your life. Defined contribution plans, such as the TSP and 401k plans, allow you to save for your own retirement through contributions from your pay into an investment account that you can manage. Often, your employer contributes an additional amount to that account, enhancing your ability to invest and save for retirement. Like a pension, a defined contribution plan allows you to receive income in retirement, but the income is not guaranteed and is based on how much you and your employer contribute during your working years and how well the investments perform over time. Employer matching is when your employer contributes a certain amount of money to your defined contribution plan, such as TSP, based on how much you contribute. This is additional money that comes from the employer, not from your pay, that goes into your retirement account, which you manage. Portability is the ability of an employee to take their retirement investment account with them when they leave one employer and move to another. Under defined contribution plans such as TSP, the rules allow you to take all of the money you invest in your account and move that money to another retirement account when you leave the organization. Also, depending on the rules for vesting, which we'll discuss on the next page, you may be able to take your money your employer invested in your retirement account with you. With portability, you can reinvest that account in your new employer's program or convert it to a different type of investment. You also have the option to leave your money in the TSP and it will continue to grow, even after you leave the service. Separating members also have the option to cash out of their TSP accounts. However, this option carries significant tax implications. For more information on portability, see your installation personal finance manager or visit the TSP website. If a personal finance manager or other unit financial counselor is not available, consult with your unit leadership or seek guidance through Military OneSource. Vesting is the right of an employee to keep the money and interest earned on that money their employer contributed to their retirement account. Usually, vesting is based on the length of time you work for that employer or participate in the retirement system. Once vested, the amount of money in your retirement account is yours to keep, and the employer cannot take it back. What is compound interest? According to Albert Einstein, the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. Compound interest is interest added to the principal of a deposit or loan, so that the added interest also earns interest from then on. This addition of interest to the principal is called compounding. Compound interest allows you to make money on the contributions you make to your retirement account from your basic pay, any government-provided contributions you receive, and from the money earned by those contributions. Compounding makes it possible for your retirement savings to increase exponentially. For example, if you invest $100 and over the course of a year earn 5% rate of return, at the end of the first year you'll have $105. If you leave that money alone, the next year you earn another 5% rate of return, you'll have $110.25. So in the second year, you've earned 5% on your original $100 contribution, plus another 5% on the $5 you saved during the first year. At this rate, your original investment would double in less than 15 years. Compounding is most effective the more years it has to work, so it's best to start saving as soon as you can and to save consistently. As a member of the Uniformed Services, you have the opportunity to participate in the Thrift Savings Plan, a retirement savings plan similar to the 401k retirement plans offered to private sector employees. The purpose of the TSP is to give you the ability to participate in a long-term retirement savings and investment plan. Savings for your retirement through the TSP provides many advantages, including the following: automatic payroll deductions, a diversified choice of investment options including professionally designed life cycle funds, a choice of tax treatments for your contributions to include traditional pre-tax contributions and tax-deferred investment earnings, and Roth after-tax contributions with tax-free withdrawals at retirement, including withdrawals of earnings if you satisfy the IRS requirements. Low administrative and investment expenses, contributions from your service, government automatic 1% contributions and government matching contributions up to an additional 4% of your basic pay that you contribute if you're enrolled in the BRS. Under certain circumstances, access to your money while you're still a member of the Uniformed Services. A beneficiary participant account established for your spouse or anyone you designate in the event of your death, and a variety of withdrawal options. TSP vesting. Vesting refers to the time and service requirement that you must satisfy before you're entitled to keep your government automatic contributions and their earnings. For BRS members, this requirement is 2 years. All of your time as a member of the Uniformed Services counts towards vesting, not just service while you are a TSP participant. So, if you opt into the BRS and already have 2 or more full years of service, you will be fully vested in your government automatic contributions. The date your vesting period begins is determined by your pay entry base date, which your service reports to the TSP. Your PEBD is shown along with other vesting information on your quarterly and annual TSP participant statements. If you leave the Uniformed Services before you satisfy the vesting requirement, your government automatic 1% contributions and their earnings must be forfeited. However, if you die before separating from service, your beneficiaries are automatically considered vested in all of the money in your account. You are immediately vested in your own contributions plus their earnings, as well as vested in any government matching contributions, plus earnings on those matching contributions. You do not need to serve for 2 years in order to keep government matching contributions. Tax-exempt pay. If you're serving in a combat zone, you can contribute tax-exempt pay to your traditional account or to your Roth account. If you contribute tax-exempt pay to your traditional account, the amount you contribute will be tax-free when withdrawn. If you contribute tax-exempt pay to your Roth account, both the amount contributed and associated earnings will be tax-free when withdrawn if you satisfy the regular Roth withdrawal requirements. Check on learning. A pension is a type of blank retirement system in which an employee is promised that they will continue receiving a regular income even after they retire. The answer, a defined benefit plan. Once vested in your retirement account, blank. The answer, the money contributed to your account by your employer and the interest earned on that money is yours to keep. Compound interest is when your employer contributes a certain amount of money to your defined contribution plan, such as the TSP, based on how much you contributed. True or false? The answer, false. Advantages of the thrift savings account include the answer. All answers are correct. You have completed Lesson 3 on financial terms and concepts and the thrift savings plan. You should now be able to understand the concept of a pension for uniformed services retirement pay, define vesting and understand the requirements of the vesting period, recognize the value of compound interest, recognize the advantages of investing in the thrift savings plan. Lesson 4, differences in the High 3 and BRS. In this lesson, you'll learn more about the differences between the components of the Uniformed Services Legacy High 3 retirement system and the BRS. After completing this lesson, you will be able to understand the basic components of the High 3 Uniformed Services retirement system, understand the basic components of the blended retirement system, and understand the concepts of and eligibility requirements for continuation pay and the lump sum option. The High 3 retirement system. The Legacy High 3 retirement system for the uniformed service is based on a pension or defined benefit plan. Under the High 3 system, active component members today who serve for 20 years are vested in the system and will receive monthly regular retirement pay upon retirement. Reserve component members under the High 3 system can start receiving non-regular retirement pay after 20 years of qualifying service and reaching age 60, or earlier based on your qualifying active service. The formula for regular retirement pay under the High 3 system for active component service members is 2.5% times years of service times the average of the highest 36 months of basic pay, which results in a monthly retired pay benefit of 50% of the average of your highest 36 months of basic pay based on 20 years of service. For members of the reserve component, years of service is equal to the service members' accumulated retirement points divided by 360. The new blended retirement system takes effect on January 1, 2018. Like the High 3 retirement system, the new blended retirement system provides a pension or defined benefit of monthly retired pay though the formula changes. The new formula for both active and reserve component is 2% times your years of service times the average of your highest 36 months of basic pay, which results in a monthly retired pay benefit of 40% for the average of your highest 3 years of basic pay based on 20 years of service. Years of service is calculated based on an individual's pay entry base date, also known as pay date for the active component, and based on the total years of qualifying service for the reserve component. For reserve component members, total years of qualifying service is still computed by dividing the number of accumulated retirement points by 360. The defined benefit pension is reduced when the multiplier decreases from 2.5% to 2% under the new BRS. However, depending on your own contribution rate to the TSP and investment returns, the addition of government, automatic, and matching contributions could allow you to achieve nearly the same or better total retirement benefit when compared to the current retirement system. The qualifying service for the active component to receive regular retirement pay in the BRS is still at least 20 qualifying years of service, the same as for the current system. The members of the reserve component qualifying for a non-regular retirement, the vesting point remains 20 years of qualifying service, although the member will not begin receiving retired pay until age 60. Some members of the reserve component could begin receiving retired pay sooner if they have certain types of qualifying service that reduces his or her retirement age. Defined contributions. A major difference between the High 3 retirement system and the new BRS is that the new blended system includes a TSP account for service members where the government will contribute to the account along with the member. If you choose to participate in the BRS, you will be able to set up a TSP account if you do not already have one. Upon opting into the BRS, you will choose the percentage contribution you want to make from your basic pay each month. For those members who already have a TSP account, you may still determine your contribution level upon opting in. The government will begin automatically contributing an amount equal to 1% of your basic pay and will continue these contributions until you separate, retire, or complete 26 years of service, whichever occurs first. You will begin seeing this contribution the next pay period after you opt in. In addition, the government will begin matching your contributions up to 4% of basic pay each month. If you opt into the BRS, you are immediately vested in your own contributions plus their earnings, as well as vested in any government matching contributions plus earnings on those matching contributions. You do not need to serve for 2 years in order to keep government matching contributions. You must serve at least 2 complete years from your PEBD to be vested in your government automatic 1% contributions and their earnings. However, if you already have two or more years of full service, when you opt in, you will be fully vested in your government automatic contributions and their earnings. These government matching contributions will continue as long as you continue contributing and until you separate, retire, or complete 26 years of service. Continuation pay. With the introduction of the new BRS, Congress authorized a continuation pay bonus, which may be provided to you mid-career for your commitment to at least 3 more years of service. Continuation pay will be paid to members covered by the BRS anywhere between 8 to 12 years of service, depending on guidelines that will be put out by your service. This pay, which, like an incentive bonus, is designed to encourage members to continue serving at critical points in their career. The amount of continuation pay and when it is paid will be determined by your service based on unique aspects of each career field. While continuation pay is not a part of a service member's retirement benefit, it is a factor in your decision between opting into the BRS or remaining in the High 3 retirement system. Your service may decide that a particular career field is in high demand and they must retain as many members in that career field as possible. This might lead to your service to pay a higher continuation pay bonus to members with that particular skill at the mid-career point. The amounts paid to each career field may vary from year to year, although they will always be in the range of a minimum of 2.5 months of basic pay up to a maximum of 13 months of basic pay for an active component member, and a minimum of 0.5 months of basic pay to a maximum of 6 months of basic pay for a reserve component member, calculated as if that member was serving on active duty. Active Guard and Reserve and full-time support members will be paid at least the minimum of 2.5 months of basic pay if they are serving on active duty. Important CP information for reserve component members. Some members of the reserve component will be eligible to opt into BRS because they have less than 4,320 retirement points, but will be past the 12-year point in their career. Those members may opt into BRS, but will not be eligible for the continuation pay bonus. Only those members who have fewer than 12 years of service measured from their pay entry base date will be eligible for continuation pay. Lump sum. One of the most significant changes to the BRS when compared to the High 3 system is the opportunity for service members to get a portion of their retired pay as a lump sum upon retirement. This means you can receive money up front as an advance on your own retired pay. The lump sum option could be a very valuable opportunity for service members upon retirement. This payment may provide you with the opportunity to pay off debts, buy a house, or even to start a business. It is important to understand, though, that there is a cost to receiving your retired pay up front. The amount you receive will be less than you would have gotten if it was spread out over normal monthly payments. This is because the money you would receive in the future is not as valuable as the money you receive in today's dollars. If you elect the lump sum, your future stream of retired pay is discounted to account for the time value of money. Also, there are tax considerations to understand, and the lump sum payment may even impact any disability compensation you are entitled to from the Department of Veterans Affairs. The lump sum option is a valuable option of the BRS and creates opportunities not available to legacy retirement systems. But it is important to learn more about the pros and cons of this option prior to retirement. How the lump sum option works. You may choose to receive either 50% or 25% of the discounted present value of your future retirement payments in exchange for reduced monthly retirement pay from when you retire until you reach the Social Security full retirement age, which for most people is age 67. At age 67, your retired pay goes back to its full amount. The discounted present value is determined by estimating what your retired pay will be and then reducing it to its value in today's dollars by using a formula that is based on market conditions and other factors. What this means: 90 days prior to retirement, you may elect to receive either 50% or 25% of your retirement from when you retire until age 67. Upon retirement, you will receive a lump sum payment that is the reduced discounted present value of this portion of your retired pay. You will continue receiving monthly retired paychecks, but only 50% or 75% of what you would have otherwise received, depending on which lump sum option you chose. When you reach age 67, your monthly retired pay will go back to what it was otherwise would have been. You will start receiving full retired paychecks again. Important lump sum information for reserve component members. Like their active duty counterparts, reserve component members participating in the BRS have the option to elect a lump sum payment of retired pay. Like all retired pay, though, reserve component members qualifying for a non-regular retirement are not eligible to get this lump sum until becoming eligible for retired pay after the gray area. Usually this is age 60, but your age of eligibility may be reduced if you have certain types of qualifying active service. Otherwise, the lump sum option works the same for reserve component members. Upon eligibility for retired pay, you may elect 50% or 25% of your retired pay for the time period. From your retired pay eligibility date, usually when you turn 60, to full Social Security retirement age, usually age 67. Other important considerations. The lump sum option is a valuable opportunity for members to receive a portion of their retired pay up front, but there are important considerations. You will get the discounted present value of this portion of your retired pay, meaning you will not get as much as you would have if you took the retired pay in normal monthly installments. Like all retired pay, this lump sum payment is subject to tax. In many cases, receiving a large sum of money may change your tax liability considerably. This can be potentially mitigated by choosing to take your lump sum payment in installments over several years, a maximum of 4 installments, 1 per year. Although members need to understand the tax implications and consult a professional before electing the lump sum option. Those retirees who anticipate they will receive a disability rating from the Department of Veterans Affairs need to know their disability compensation could be impacted or delayed if they take the lump sum option. Shown here is a graphic of the lump sum option for regular retirement. Shown here is a graphic of the lump sum option for non-regular retirement. Check on learning. The formula for retired pay under the High 3 retirement system is blank times years of service times the average of the highest 36 months of the service member's basic pay, while under the BRS, the formula is blank times years of service times the average of the highest 36 months of the service member's basic pay. The answer, 2.5% and 2%. Under the BRS, service members who elect to opt in are eligible for blank. Either up to an additional 4% government matching contribution to a TSP account, automatic 1% contributions to a TSP account, neither or both. The answer, both. The blank allows service members to take 25% or 50% of their retired pay up front as an advance upon retirement. The answer, lump sum option. You have completed Lesson 4 on the differences between the High 3 Uniformed Services Retirement System and the BRS. You should now be able to understand the basic components of the current Uniformed Services Retirement System, understand the basic components of the Blended Retirement System, and understand the concepts of and eligibility requirements for continuation pay and lump sum. Lesson 5, Important Factors to Consider. In this lesson, you'll learn about some important factors you may need to think through before deciding whether to participate in the Legacy High 3 Retirement System or the BRS. After completing this lesson, you will be able to understand important factors necessary in order to make an informed retirement system selection, whether to opt into the Blended Retirement System or remain in the Legacy High 3 system by December 31st, 2018. Short, mid, and long-term goals. Someone in your life has probably talked to you about goals and goal setting. It may have been your parents, your high school counselor, or a member of your service leadership. Among the many good reasons to set goals are that they direct your attention to the things that are most important to you and help you sustain the effort and motivation to achieve them. You can have short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. Short-term goals are goals that can be accomplished in 1 to 2 years. An example of a short-term goal in your service career might be to complete a training program for a set of skills you're trying to develop. Mid-term goals are those that take between 2 and 5 years to accomplish. You may have a mid-term goal to get a promotion or complete a bachelor's degree. Long-term goals are those that extend beyond 5 years. Your retirement goals are long-term goals. You need to consider your goals when you're thinking about the Uniformed Services Retirement System plan that you choose. How long do you plan to serve and what factors may influence that decision? How do your service career goals relate to any goals you might have working in the private sector? These are just a few important things to think about that might impact your retirement system decision. While you're thinking about these things, you might want to write them down for future reference. A worksheet has been provided as an attachment to this document for this purpose. Your service career goals. Take some time to think about your career in the uniformed services. What are your service career goals? Have you thought about serving 20 years or more? Maybe you're looking for a college degree or a professional military education. What do you want to achieve? Do you expect to be on active duty for your full career, or have you considered continuing with the reserve component later on? Personal and family considerations. Your personal and family obligations, plans, and goals may be some of your most important considerations as you plan for retirement and select a uniformed service retirement system. For example, do you have a spouse? Does he or she have a career, and if so, what is their income? Is your family situation going to change? For example, maybe you're single now, but planning to get married soon. And what are your current family expenses? Things like saving for children to go to college, providing care or financial support for aging parents, or large purchases such as a new home, car, or boat. Also, if you are part of the reserve component and have a civilian job, you should discuss limitations on contributions between your civilian and military retirement accounts with your personal financial manager. These are all items that must be considered in your long-term financial and retirement plans. If you have a family, you need to discuss your retirement options with them as part of your process for getting ready to make your retirement system selection. Even if you choose to remain in the service for a full career or 20 years or more, you may eventually become a working age retiree, someone who is retired from the service but continues to work after leaving the service. Consider a service member who enters military service at age 18 and serves 20 years. While that member qualifies for military retirement, at age 38 they will likely continue to work in another job capacity for another 20 or 25 years or more. These members have the advantage of military retiree benefits, but may still have children at home and living expenses that exceed the monthly retirement pay they receive. So, while they are retired when viewed from a military perspective, they are not retired in the no longer working sense. A great advantage of being a working age retiree is the additional income provided by the military retired pay. This income can mean that a member can pursue a passion that has with less regard for total salary, since their retired pay includes a bit of a cushion. In addition, military retirees have access to health care benefits, installation services, and programs that provide cost savings to the beneficiary. Perhaps one of the greatest surprises for military members who leave service is the loss of non-taxable allowances and health care with little or no out-of-pocket cost. These issues must be considered as part of long-term planning for retirement. Check on learning. Which of the following are more important considerations when you're thinking about planning which retirement system you will participate in? The answer: all answers are correct. This activity is designed to give you an opportunity to review the important factors some service members may be considering as they plan to make their own decision whether to stay in the High 3 retirement system or opt into the BRS. Our example is Mike Smith, an active component soldier who is an E6 with 20 years of service. Our second example is an O1 on the active component side with 6 years of service named John Wright. Our third example is Jason Rice, an active component to reserve component transfer, who is an E4 with 20 years of service. Our fourth example, Erica Harris, an active component to reserve component transfer, E3 with 8 years of service. Our fifth example, Ryan McCormick, a reserve component CW2 with 20 years of service. Our sixth example, Samantha Baker, a reserve component E2 with 8 years of service. Our seventh example, Derek Roberts, an active component to reserve component transfer, O3, with 10 years of service. And our eighth example, Andrea Knowing, an active component to reserve component transfer, O2, with 10 years of service. Take a moment to read through the previous examples at your leisure, as one may provide a good example for your own status. You have completed Lesson 5 on the important considerations you need to think through before deciding which uniform services retirement system you will choose to participate in. You should now be able to understand important factors necessary in order to make an informed retirement system selection, whether to opt into the blended retirement system by December 31st, 2018. Lesson 6, Tools and Resources. In this lesson, you'll learn about the tools and resources available to you to help you with retirement planning and decision making so you can make an informed decision about which retirement system you want to participate in. As previously discussed, the decision whether to remain in the Legacy High 3 retirement system or opt into BRS is your decision to make. These resources are available to support you making this decision, not to tell you what decision to make. After completing this lesson, you will be able to identify and access tools and resources available to provide you with information and education for making financial decisions, and understand how to use the BRS calculator to perform a financial comparison of your retirement planning options. You are the person who will decide which retirement plan to choose. No one else should make this decision for you, but that doesn't mean you have to make this decision in a vacuum. There are a variety of tools and resources available to inform and educate you about financial planning for your future. Your service has personal financial counselors and educators and retirement services officers who can help guide you through the financial planning process. You will have the opportunity to attend classes and seminars on financial planning over the course of your career, and an instruction on the opt-in decision in addition to this course is available. On an installation, the primary source of financial education or counseling is the personal financial manager. Members who do not have access to an installation PFM may contact Military OneSource. In addition, personal financial counselors and RSOs may be available through your unit. Reserve component as well as active component personnel living near a military installation may have access to an installation PFM or RSO. Other resources for reserve component personnel include PFCs assigned to units or installation and Military OneSource. Remember, these counselors are there to provide you with information and education that will help you make an informed decision on your retirement system, not to make the decision for you. Various websites are available to provide you with information. A comprehensive list of those links is provided here. And the BRS calculator will enable you to run the numbers to help you decide which system is your best option. The BRS calculator is an online comparison calculator that will enable you to enter information about your current and projected service status in order to estimate your potential retirement savings and income. You will be able to access and use the BRS calculator on your own, but it is recommended that you use it while consulting with one of your service's financial counselors or educators so they can help you fully understand the results. The BRS calculator will enable you to compare, side by side, your potential retirement benefits from the Legacy High 3 retirement system and the BRS. The calculator will also enable you to compare the results of different TSP contribution rates, allowing you to see the significant difference over time between contributing 1% or more of your basic pay. Let's say you have completed the BRS opt-in course, discussed your retirement system options with your service-provided financial professional and your family, and participated in retirement planning and financial literacy education provided by your service. And you decide you want to opt into the BRS. How do you opt in? Members of the Army, Navy, and Air Force who elect to opt in will be able to do so by logging into MyPay on or after January 1st, 2018 to make their election. Members of the Marine Corps will make their elections through Marine Online, and members of the Coast Guard, Public Health Service, and NOAA will be advised by their service on the procedures for opting in if they choose to do so. Check on learning. Which of the resources listed are available to inform and educate you about financial planning for your future? The answer? All answers are correct. Which of the items listed is information service members must enter into the BRS calculator? The answer? All of the above. You have completed Lesson 6 on the tools and resources available to help you with retirement planning and understanding the factors associated with your decision to choose one of the available Uniform Services retirement systems. You should now be able to identify and access tools and resources available to assist, provide information, assistance, and education in making financial decisions. Understand how to use the BRS calculator to compare your retirement planning options. Course summary for the BRS opt-in course. Congratulations, you have completed the BRS opt-in course. Here are some important points to keep in mind. The blended retirement system takes effect on January 1st, 2018. You are eligible to opt in to the BRS if, as of December 31st, 2017, you are either an active component member who has served fewer than 12 full years from your pay entry base date, or a reserve component member with fewer than 4,320 points. Most service members will have the entire 2018 calendar year to decide whether to remain in their Legacy High 3 retirement system or opt into the BRS. Your decision whether or not to opt into the BRS is an individual decision. No one else can make it for you. If you choose to opt into the BRS, your decision is final. It cannot be changed at a later date. There are significant differences between the Legacy High 3 retirement system and the BRS, and you should take full advantage of the financial literacy information and education available to you through your service, including completing this course and discussing your retirement system options with your service-provided financial professionals. Participating in upcoming classes or workshops and the retirement systems being provided by your service. And members of the Army, Navy, and Air Force who elect to opt into the BRS will be able to do so by logging into MyPay on or after January 1st, 2018 to make their election. Now displayed on the screen are 3 contacts available to you that are financial professionals. This has been the BRS opt-in course. At this time, make sure that you sign any available materials to note that you've participated in this training, and have a wonderful day.